So I was inspired to write this blog because of something I saw on the homeopathy website that really resonated with my perspective right now in this moment of my life. So first I will say that, so last year, me and my family started seeing a naturopathic doctor that prescribed us each a homeopathic medicine for our individual constitution. And I've been interested in healing and natural health for over 10 years, and nothing worked as effective and as quickly as this homeopathic remedy that he prescribed to each one of us individually. So that was the inspiration for this post because what I noticed is that there were parts of me, even though I thought I was really in balance and in tune, what this remedy was doing was sort of pulsing out more unbalances and distortions within my field, my energy field, and what I think even in my DNA that was passed down probably generations and generations and generations, because I saw a lot of my imbalances heightened in my daughter. So all the parts of me that were kind of distorted went into her tenfold. And the same with my son and my husband. All of my husband's imbalances were sort of heightened in my son. And so what these remedies are doing is really cleansing that out. And so all three of us are experiencing mental, emotional, and physical well-being to an extent that, a quick extent that, I couldn't have noticed until I shifted out of it. So people like me, my constitution, we get very fixated on theories, philosophies, things that gear toward religion, even though spirituality is not necessarily a religion. It can be for a lot of people. It can get to that point. And it was starting to get to that point for me where I was becoming really obsessed, for the lack of word, on having certain ideologies, finding the truth, what I perceive to be the truth, and really trying to understand this realm to a larger extent. But what this remedy was doing is kind of pulsing that out of me to where I still love to do my clairvoyant readings. I still love to understand this realm, but not to the point where it was kind of overwhelming for me. And I don't feel the need to understand everything like I did before. And what I found is that that part of me was actually causing a lot of my illnesses. And since I started taking that remedy, my physical health ailments that I was experiencing have lifted, and so has that sort of mental thought processes. They have lifted as well. So it's definitely connected. But this quote that I found on this website pretty much summed up what I feel. And so I'll just go ahead and read that. It says that you must understand that global pathology is a continuum, as I have explained in my book, A New Model for Health and Disease. Disease processes are evolving in the same or a similar way to the social or spiritual evolution of human beings. We say, for example, generally one nationality or race is more polite than another. What we may actually be implying unknowingly is that this evolved nation has undergone a series of degenerative processes through several generations of diseases that have transformed the primitive instincts into more acceptable forms of social behavior, but not necessarily into more health. Evolution may be going hand in hand with degeneration, tempering or restraining some basic instincts of life that give pleasure or happiness on the physical level. When losing the pleasure on the physical level, the human being tries to find happiness through spiritual awareness. So disease is the discipline of the human being in its upward march for spiritual evolution. The healer must be aware of these truths or realities if he is to advise correctly on a case of deep suffering and take the individual from the unhappiness of the disease into the happiness of real health. So reading that was super profound for me and resonated instantly because a few months ago I had done a reading on the Hadza tribe of Africa. This is one of the last hunter-gatherer tribes of that region. And when doing a reading on them, I was initially trying to understand, I was just interested in their spiritual evolution and how evolved they are compared to people like us. And what I saw was that they are actually more, for lack of a better term, spiritually advanced than people like me who live in a modern society, have a spiritual practice and these, intellectual thought processes and a more evolved, what we like to think is an evolved way of thinking and living. But what I saw clairvoyantly is that was not the case, that people like me are actually very primitive to people like them who may not know anything that we do now. They're just so connected to the earth. They hunt, they gather, they sleep. But I saw that was their circumstances, their mental whatever, they are more evolved than, say, someone like me. So at the time, I didn't quite understand that, but I'm starting to understand that now, because since I've shifted out of that perspective I had, I am feeling just the need to live life more. I'm not feeling the need to understand every single little thing and have it all figured out. I just want to be in my physical body, enjoy the physical things of this earth more, focus on being a mom, spending time with my kids, spending time with the people I love, and really having these fulfilling moments with the people I love and these fulfilling experiences. And so as of lately, I'm starting to gear more towards that than finding the truth. And another thing with that reading of the Hadza tribe is I was also wanting to know about vegetarianism or eating meat, and which was the right thing. And of course, there is no right thing. What the right thing is for what's right for me individually, what's right for you individually. That's what I came to the conclusion of. I feel like at one point there was a time or a place where there was sort of a Garden of Eden-like atmosphere. I do not know if that was this place, another place, I do not know, but for whatever reason, we are not in that time and place anymore. And I was really trying to understand, eating meat, not eating meat, how it affects this realm, how it affects us. And ultimately, I saw that it affects everyone differently. Everyone's different. So I did link that blog there. That was basically what I wanted to sum up. Where I'm shifting towards. If you haven't seen a homeopathic doctor, I highly recommend it. Even if you're suffering just anxiety, mental fatigue. It can be anything, emotional instability, mental instability, your physical ailments. I had no idea that I didn't even think I had anxiety, but it was there underlying everything, and how this affected my health to the degree that I was even having allergies and elevation sickness. Okay, and it was all connected to my mental processes and not allowing my body to adjust to this new place I live. So it pulls that out. And I'm not experiencing elevation sickness anymore or allergies. So, I thought that was a perfect quote to sum up. Do not forego your physicality, your physical body. Enjoy your physical pleasures. And thank you for watching.